Me in. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Carol and John Shoppers. Welcome to Tuesday night. A very full table, and everybody's here. Andrew's behind the camera. John Shear's brightly colored at the top of the table, and I'm here also, as you can see. Yeah, what are you gonna do? We got some really fun stuff to talk about. Upcoming this week, we have Late Night Comics. That is on Thursday. It's a little bit of an inmates running asylum situation since John is going on some sort of vacation somewhere. I'm not going to pretend to remember where. Why? But we will be here in force. We'll have Felipe backing us up, which is an awesome part-time gig for him. We love having him here, so come say hi. We are doing a typical late night comic where if you buy $100 comics, they become 50 cents, so essentially half off. Awesome thing to remember. But Late Night Comics is only a precursor to a wonderful, fantastic sale we like doing every year, named after our beloved late comic book cat, Winston. We've got Winston World Sale this weekend because the convention previously known as Wizard World is in town. Now it's Fan Expo, so I'm sure a lot of people will be very comic book oriented this weekend. So you got to stop by your local comic shop and peruse through all of our new and old back issues. They will be half off. But equally as important, throughout the store, everything will be at least 10% off. So this is a great time to stock up on supplies, of which we have plenty. This is kind of one of the only 2 times during the year that supplies are on sale. Get 10% off of those. It's kind of like milk and eggs. This is why we put them in the back of the store so you can pass all the awesome, colorful stuff in between here and there. He makes me nervous when he starts scooting around at the beginning of the video. But then at the end of the month, on the 30th, which is not the last day of the month, we will have Matt Rosenberg and Tyler Boss here doing a signing. We have a ton of their fantastic material to sell. They write amazing indie books. I implored Andrea and I started rereading 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank to give you a small elevator pitch of this. By both of these guys, it is essentially 4 very indignant children who play D&D and they get caught in the middle of a bank robbery and they bring their attitudes with them. It is phenomenal and it is self-contained. Please pick up one of those from us, get it signed by them, or just read it. Well worth it in that regard. But that is on March 30th. It's a Sunday at 4. They will be here happy to sign books, including the 2 books they have coming out the Wednesday before. So we will have in mass. We're taking everyone down with us, number 1, and You'll Do Bad Things, number 1. Both truly, truly fantastic first issues in very different takes on genres that you think have been beaten to death, but they're not. Not in this regard, not in this capacity. I absolutely endorse these books. I think you should add them onto your files. They're both miniseries, so not huge commitments. Plus, you get to meet the guys who made them and can sell them better than I can. That's not true. I sell them great. But yeah, please, that's on the 30th. Do that. That gets us caught up to the end of the month. So it's a busy March. It's a busy March.
Yeah.
We dig it. I'm moving away from Andrea because we don't have any first appearances today, which is kind of weird. But we do have a very, very potently fantastic issue to start off the thing with up here. LA Strong is a one-shot from Mad Cave. It is $10, and it is absolutely a love letter to Los Angeles. It is coming out in the midst of a lot of tragedy, a lot of, misplaced people, kind of wondering of how the world is going to work out for them. But it is a lot of one-page stories, a couple 2-pagers or 3-pagers, but a lot of one-page stories from very well-known comic book writers and artists, and just kind of them working through how they feel about this displacement in the world now, like something that is very sudden and shocking to them. And not necessarily like earth shattering, but something that's very hard to recover from. And every story is delightful in its own way. They all take from it something very different. Some people talk about how their life was and is and unchanged. And some of them talk about how drastically different the world is after a very sudden and horrendous event. So I do want to reiterate that every single cent that we spent on these books, which means that you spend on these books, goes to disaster relief, one of 3 charities in the Los Angeles County area. They're all listed in the back with a very good explanation of what they do and how they help. But you buying this book helps from Cleveland. So please grab a copy. It's not a big commitment. $10 helps out a lot, and we'd really just like to see that money go to a good place. Plus, really fantastic creators in there. You get exposed to some artwork. I was looking up earlier today, like where some of these artists have done other work, and it's really, really, really fantastic one shot they put together. And then next month, you can give us your money for Godzilla versus Los Angeles and be even more entertained.
Yeah.
Then you will notice that we do not have Image on this side of the table because of the weird stylings of DC this week. So we fit it over there. We'll get to it in a minute. But we're going to start off with EC Comics being back again with Epitaphs from the Abyss. This is issue number 9. This will be your cover A, and this will be your cover B. Then we've got a new issue of Rick and Morty Ricklemania, issue 2, I believe, but I can't find any kind of number on here. Yeah. Sweet. And then a new number 1 from Dark Horse is Who Are the Power Pals? The short pitch for this is that there are a couple of wash-up actors who find a new career in vigilantism, but they piss off the wrong guy, and they find themselves in the crosshairs. So looks like a fun one. Another number 1 this week is from Oni. It's called Out of Alcatraz. It's written by one of our favorite writers, Christopher Cantwell, and it is telling the story of the 3 attempted escapees from Alcatraz in 1962.
Something like that, yeah.
Essentially, this story is undefined. They never found those guys. They were presumed dead. They never really got a clear picture of what happened that night. So Chris Cantwell's really able to take this historical event of the only escape from Alcatraz, or the only successful escape from Alcatraz, and do whatever he wants with it. It's a great crime noir. The interaction between these guys after they get out, like them escaping is a very small part of the story, but what they're doing with their time afterwards is a huge part, and there's a great fish hook at the end that is just going to keep you interested. I believe it's a 4 or 5 issue miniseries. And we've got some cool covers to go along with it. There's a 1 in 10 variant here, kind of a design cover for $8. And then the 1 in 20 variant for $12. Tongues is a beautiful hardcover and very trippy content still on the table from last week. It's a $35 hardcover. And then we're getting into IDW stuff. 1 book on the table, TMNT Mutant Nation. We did run out of cover A's. We have a couple more coming back in. But if you'd like it, there's a 1 in 10 variant for $8. Mad Cave's back at it with Dick Tracy at number 8. Defenders of the Earth, number 5. And a really cool number 1 called Crush Depth. A little less information in the book than I like, but it's keeping you a little interested with questions. Essentially, there are arcs leaving the human or the surface world, and these arcs are, instead of going to space like we're kind of used to with sci-fi stories, they are heading into the ocean. So in some way, the land is poisoned. We don't know how yet, but this follows the crew and their discovery of a giant, horrendous monster. And land, kind of. Who knows?
Yeah.
1 more for Mad Cave, really fun book. We have a couple copies of this trade paperback. It's called Kosher Mafia. It is about a very small sect of the Jewish mafia in Cleveland. It takes place in Shaker Heights. The first issue was incredibly, incredibly powerful with the torture scene and a little bit of motivation as to a cold-hearted gangster not being so cold-hearted. But we always got to stock up on a Cleveland book. But then we're into collected Marvel editions. You got the first volume of the current Phoenix ongoing series, a really great modern epic collection that I know John Shear is super stoked about. It is the first collections of Ultimate Spider-Man, which is your favorite comic of all time. If
it is. It really is. Yeah. You can't get much better than these 12 issues.
You really can't get better.
Yeah.
No. I fully support all of the copies of Bagley and Bendis' stuff for Ultimate Spider-Man. In the middle, we've got a really cool Treasury edition. It's in paperback. It is a Doom collection. It's the one shot that came out last year, drawn by Sanford Green and written by Sanford Green. That is just awesome to see in a huge format. All the scope of Galactus First Doom is crazy. All the cosmic stuff is crazy. But it also collects a Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four issue that is very essential to modern Doom history, and a Sanford Green drawn Doom story that is like a Doom influencing the young of the Marvel Universe kind of story, like them questioning, why isn't Dr. Doom kind of right? Another Treasury collection, but this time in hardcover, is Jason Aaron's Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime. It was a personal favorite one-shot of mine. It is a kind of a what-if Uncle Scrooge story where you see a lot of Disney or Duck stuff across the multiverse. Another Ultimate Spider-Man collection this week is the current run of Ultimate Spider-Man. It's volume 2. It is collecting through issue number 12. And issue number 12, if you have not read it or are not current on the story, is an unfathomably good cliffhanger issue for Ultimate Spider-Man. It absolutely has kept me hooked for the next year of Ultimate Spider-Man. And then one more, the miniseries Daredevil Woman Without Fear that finished up at the end of last year. The entire thing collected right here. One reprint from Marvel Comics is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I'm told is a very delightful new show on Disney Plus, dropping new episodes weekly. And it is simply adored by the people who talk about it. Mm-hmm. Above that, a really fun one, similar to a week or so ago, we've got another 3D edition, this time of Incredible Hulk number 340. So you get to see that Hulk pop through those claws right into your X-ray goggles or your 3D glasses or your Valiant Vision if you prefer your 3D that way. I always keep a pair of Valiant Vision on hand. A facsimile edition for Marvel this week gets us Fantastic Four number 3. So they're continuing from the beginning of the FF. I wonder why.
First Fantastic Car.
This is the first appearance of the Fantastic Car, which I think is well worth it no matter what. You can get it to go along with your first appearance of the Batarang last week. Here's your cover A for that, and we got a spiffy, shiny variant for $10 to go with it, and then a 1 in 25 homage cover for $20. New Marvel stuff this week, like new issues. Daredevil Unleash Hell is on issue number 3, and it is always red band. There's your cover A. Here is your cover B, and here's your Peach Momoko cover C. She knows how to draw and muse. Speaking of Peach Momoko, Ultimate X-Men is on issue number 13 this week. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Too many teeth. Here is your spiffy shiny foil variant for $10, which is one of my favorite foils so far.
It's so good.
It's a great foil. And then a 1 in 25 variant for $10. One more Ultimate books this week is Ultimate Black Panther number 14. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. And your 1 in 25 Kitty's Got Claws variant for $10. You guys didn't laugh at that. That's fine.
I'm more along the lines of like I didn't realize if you're facing it here, it looks awesome like sideways. The cover.
You don't have to give him that. It's.
Let me see. Turn your phone
It's
sideways.
cool. Yeah.
Turn your phone sideways.
Yeah.
Andrea can't. New Champions is on issue number 3. This is an all-fight issue. I will tell you that right now. It is technically the first full appearance of Magnetrix, though I don't believe the internet. She's been in it since the first issue. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Here's your cover C. And there's your Momoko on cover D. Another red bander this week, Werewolf by Night, is on issue number 8. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Next on my reading stack, I'm not going to lie, is Eddie Brock Carnage. I loved issue 1. I think it did something different and also familiar with Carnage, and it worked. There's your cover A for number 2. Here's your cover B. Here's your cover C, the invisible variant, and then a 1 in 25 variant for $20 that Kyle forgot to put a board in. Miles Morales Spider-Man is on issue number 31. It is still a verse Deadpool, but it looks more like a team-up. Inevitably, that happens. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B, the Marvel Comics Presents variant. Issue number 3 of Magic comes out this week with a J. Scott Campbell cover A. So if you're a J. Scott Campbell collector, they are not going to make you find and pay for a ratio variant. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Here's your cover C. And then we've got a design 1 in 10 variant for $8. Psylocke also comes out this week with issue number 5. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. And here's your cover C. We've got a few X-Manhunt tie-ins this week.
You guys over here now.
Yep, he's running. He's almost there. Actually, I think this is it. But for Omega, we got one more issue after this. So Exceptional X-Men's on issue number 7. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Peach Momoko. Yep. X-Force is also an X-Manhunt tie-in this week, though we had a lot of last-minute pre-orders for it. So if you like, here's a 1 in 50 variant for $15 featuring everybody's favorite X-Man Forge. But otherwise, if you think you're going to miss out on some X-Manhunt stuff, let us know if you'd like a cover A. I have reordered more of those. Then we're on number 3 of Sam Wilson, Captain America, in the middle of that miniseries. There's a cover A right there. Cover B with a little bit of New Falcon on it. And then cover C with a lot of New Falcon on it. Deadpool Wolverine continues a weird team up with issue number 3. There's your cover A with just phenomenal artwork and stabbing.
Oh, it's great.
Cover B is the April Fool's Day variant, which I appreciate the use of pool and dead. Then we've got Cable, Love and Chrome. They're on issue number 3 of that miniseries. Cover A is great, but it's all about the cover B because I'm a t-shirt junkie and a Deadpool junkie, so you really can't say no to that one. And then we've got a cover C to go along with it, which I appreciate the action of. Avengers is on number 24. This is the last tie-in with Black Cat and the team of Avengers and the Infinity Heist, right?
Yep.
So there's your cover A. But really, who cares about cover A when you've got Jeff the Shark on the Marvel Rivals variant of cover B? We are not going to give anybody this cover. Please don't ever at all request it. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody grab it. Everybody loves Jeff. You can't go wrong with a cute little land shark. So that's cover B. Cover C has your kind of Infinity tie into it. Cover D is a Momoko cover. Then we're on the penultimate issue of TVA.
Yep.
Issue number 4 of that miniseries with a cover B and all of the Minutes cartoon characters. And then the entire top of the table is a long-awaited second issue of One World Under Doom, part 2 of 9. So hopefully we're going to get a reprint of number 1 here quickly or in the next couple weeks. But we are on a slow roll of Doom doing stuff to the world. We're going to figure out what his motives are, hopefully here in the next issue. But here's part 2.
Until then, we get the next cover.
Yeah, until then, we got another fantastic variant. Here's cover A. Here's the cover B that we really care about, this Doomasaur, which I really appreciate the attention to detail of scarring the Doomasaur.
Yeah.
It's part of his history.
Yeah.
Cover C, cover D, cover E, and a wonderful 1 in 25 variant with a lot of depth for $15.
Then we move on to DC, and we've got another Absolute. Yay, more Absolutes. And so Absolute Flash, going to hold it up. First one, Jeff Lemire, Nick Robles are doing Flash. There's Barry Allen, there's Wally West, there's the Rogues Gallery, everything you want in a Flash book, all absolutized and incredibly good. This is like, they know what they're doing and they're doing it right. And if you're having any doubts, don't. It's just as good as all the other ones. They're doing a great job. Kudos to them. Way to go, DC.
If you have enjoyed any iota of any other Absolute, you will like Absolute Flash.
Exactly. So yeah. So there's your cover A. Cover B, we made the blank variant. There's your cover C by Panosian. Cover D, we have very cool 1 in 25 variants.
For how much?
There you go.
How much is it?
$12 for the 1 in 25, $20 for the 1 in 50. And then $50 because we have a 1 in 100 variant.
And it looks sharp in black and white. I'll tell you what.
And then the final part of Absolute Batman, it's issue number 6. It is the end of the first story arc. It is fantastic. It is everything that you want from Absolute Batman. And will continue on. Like, you want to read this, and you're like, give me more. And I want more. I am very excited. He uses his pointy things to the greatest of effect in this. It's wonderful.
Also worth noting that is the last issue of Nick Dragotta's artwork. We are moving on to Marcos Martin artwork on issue
For
number
at least 2
7.
issues.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really jazzed about that.
So there's your cover A. $12 for a 1 in 25 variant. $30 for a 1 in 50 variant.
By Malieve.
Oh, very nice. And then we have the crossover of the ages. DC X Sonic the Hedgehog. Honestly, tons of fun. Everything you want from a crossover like this. Introduces all the characters, good and bad, and ultimately they are all fighting Darkseid. It's great. Like, the best is Sonic versus Flash. Like, oh, I'm faster. No, I'm faster.
I mean, that's what it was made for.
It really is. So yeah, there's your cover A. There's your mashup cover B. Tom Taylor's Detective Comics is on issue 1095. There's your cover A. Your cover B, which is super cool. And look, it's Batman playing basketball. They're doing a bunch of basketball issues. So there's your cover C, courtside.
March Madness, baby.
$12 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Question all along the Watchtowers on issue number 5, the penultimate issue for that one there. New Gods, easily DC's most undersung title probably right now, but everybody who's getting it is really loving it. There's your issue 4. Catwoman's still going on with the mystery of like who's trying to kill her and who's killing all her old friends. There's your cover A. Panosian does cover B. Cho does cover C. And then we have a $20 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Batman Robin year 1, halfway through. We're on issue number 6. Batman. So Robin's right, walking a tightrope. Batman at one point does ask Robin, teach me. So there's your cover A. Your $10 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Nightwing's on issue 124. There's your cover A. And we have a $15 1 in 25 variant for that one there. That is very spiffy. Look, Psycho Pirate's back because he can never go away. That stupid mask. Titans number 21. There's your cover A. There's your Frisson cover B. And then there's your basketball cover C.
It's probably the best of them because it's.
I mean, they're playing ball. Yeah, they're playing. Yeah, it's perfect. Everything you want from that. Challenge of the Unknowns on issue number 4. Zatanna's on issue number 2. A great pickup where the last one left off. And her team up with Blue Devil is surprisingly more heartfelt than you would ever think. So there's your cover A. We have a spiffy shiny foil for cover B. Cover C. And then Nakayama's cover D. And then a $20 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Last one with the Aquaman and Swamp Thing crossover for Batman Superman World's Finest number 37. There's your cover A. But we have the Guy Fieri cover B.
Come on.
Yay! And then $12 1 in 25 variant for that one there, which is really cool. DC's Facsimiles, Crisis on Infinite Earths number 12, final one. Took him about a year. So there you go. And then from last week, because we didn't have any hit the table, the Batman 613, the Hush crossover, we got a spiffy shiny foil variant for that one there. We'll do a little. All right. Yep. One more single issue. Oof. Superman, Last Days of Lex
2
Luthor.
2 years almost to the day.
2 years almost to the day.
Almost to the day.
So not Wade and Hitch's fault. They completely say that this is not on them. This is on DC. They're like, hey, we finished the first issue. They're like, DC's like, we're going to put it out.
I'll blame
They're
Brian
like,
Hitch for whatever
no,
I want to blame
no,
Brian Hitch for.
Like, we're not done yet. And they're like, we don't care. So 2 years later, we get issue 2. There it is. There's your cover A. There's your awesome Sammy cover B. And then your $12 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Collection-wise, DC's Finest team-ups. It's all of the DC Comics presents team-ups with Superman. And so it starts off with Superman Flash race. Can't beat that. Batman Catwoman by Tom King and Clay Mann. All 12 issues in one big giant collection. Dark Knights of Steel All Winter is out in hardcover for $30. It's wonderful. It's great. If you liked all the other Dark Knights of Steel, you'll like this. And then the other amazing book, Zatanna, Bring Down the House. $30 hardcover, all the issues. Javier Rodriguez's art is second to none in that book.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
It's wonderful. Image collections. My first on my reread stack, Plastic Death and Dolls. It is his origin story, and if you've ever had me talk about Plastic, I will continue to talk about it because now we have an origin story, and it's great. Criminal by Brubaker and Phillips. We're on Bad Night. Creepshows on Volume 3. And then we get into Image proper. G.I. Joe number 5. It is all-out fight between the Joes and Cobra, and it is fantastic. So this is what you've been waiting for. It's great. This is number 5, cover A. And then she's a Joe now. She can punch Destro. That's cover
Joe.
B. There's your cover C. There's your cover D. We have a $12 1 in 25 variant. And
Lady
then
Cobra.
we have a $15 1 in 50 variant. Giant size special Dreamweaver. It is a $5.99 book on newsprint, and it is very cool. One-shot special, Dreamweaver special. But next to that, Bug Wars #2. We love
Woo!
it. It's
I
fantastic.
want to show you guys the first panel, but I cannot.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
you
we're not
cannot.
allowed.
We cannot show you the first panel.
It is somehow so familiar and so new all at the same time. It is such a fantastically fun story for anybody who ever just had fun in their backyard.
Yeah.
But was also terrified of their backyard.
Exactly. There's your cover A. There's your cover B. Oh, so good. And then your $10 1 in 25 variant. And if you missed it, we've got it back. Bug Wars #1. It's a second print. But find out why the first panel of issue 2 is so terrifying and amazing. So there you go. Sagas on issue 72. It's the end of the arc. Lovable
got a goose cover.
We have a goose cover.
We were all very, maybe we still are very terrified that Goose is on the cover of Saga, because that doesn't bode well.
It does
a lot
not
of the
bode
time.
well, but
Hell of an issue.
it's so good. So, and then final issue for Deviant by Tinian and Hickson. It is final, right?
It is final. It is
So-
the very last issue. It is phenomenal. I love this book in a lot of ways, and I appreciate all the other 15 people who read it with me.
So there's your cover A. We have a $8 1 in 10 variant, and then we have a $10 1 in 25 variant. Oh, man, look at that axe.
That book
Uh-huh.
is so good. It's so good. I could talk about it for days.
And then we have Row of Spawn. Deadly Tales of Gunslinger Spawn is on issue #4. Rat City's on issue #12. And King Spawn's on issue #43. Man, I remember when that issue 1 came out.
I still feel like it was a couple months ago.
Rockefeller's on issue #4. There's your cover A. There's your cover B. And there's your cover C from Ghost Machine. Walking Dead Deluxe. I am still rereading these as they come out. It's great. Issue 109. Power Fantasies on issue #7 by Kieran Gillen. Sacrifices by Remenders on issue #15. End of the arc.
Hell of an end of an arc.
So
Hell of it.
yeah. And Adventure Man Family Tree is starting up again. The Fraction Dodson book, issue #1. And then we have final second print, Lucky Devils #2 by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. And then couple kids books, My Little Pony, one shot. It is the case of the missing Puff.
Yep.
So there you go. And then Sonic's on issue #77. And then we got the Dr. Seuss books again, Grinch Takes a Vacation, Green Eggs and Ham Take a Hike, and Cat Out of Water.
Yeah, with that, we are currently revamping a little bit of our all ages section and our manga section. So right there in the middle of the table, we've discounted some manga. A lot of volume 1s in here, some stuff you may have missed in the middle of some series, but really worth checking out, all for $2. And I think we will end it there with a gigantic table wrap up, right? A lot of stuff we are really excited to recommend and put in your hands. If you missed anything, let us know. We're actively doing some reorders, and we'll be happy to get them for you. And beyond that, thanks for joining us Tuesday night, and we'll see you Wednesday for your comics.